Welcome back to the Coins Information HD channel. Today we are diving into a coin that millions of people overlook every day, yet it carries a fascinating history, important context in United States coinage, and the potential for surprising value in today's market. This video is a full, in-depth exploration of the 1966 Lincoln 1-cent penny with no mint mark. We will cover why it has no mint mark, how and why it was minted, the historical conditions surrounding the coin shortage of the 1960s, the special mint set coins from that year, the rarity of certain varieties and errors, and its current and projected value in 2025. If you own a 1966 penny or you come across one in your spare change, this video will tell you everything you need to know. To understand the 1966 Lincoln cent, we have to go back to the mid-1960s. The United States was facing an ongoing and frustrating coin shortage. Businesses were struggling to maintain enough coins for day-to-day transactions. The shortage was so significant that newspapers published stories about vending machines being unavailable, banks running out of small change, and the mint rushing to produce more coins than ever before. During this period, the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to increase production and simplify operations. To speed up production, the mint temporarily suspended the use of mint marks. For collectors, this was an unusual shift. Traditionally, mint marks identify where a coin was produced, such as D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But in 1965, 1966, and part of 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from coins to discourage collectors from hoarding certain mint issues. The idea was that people were saving coins from different mints, and that behavior was worsening the coin shortage. So, the 1966 penny was struck without a mint mark. Although nearly all of them came from the Philadelphia Mint, none are marked with the familiar P, because that mint mark was not yet in use on cents. The absence of a mint mark became a characteristic of these transitional era coins. The 1966 penny continues the Lincoln Memorial cent design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The obverse features Victor David Brenner's classic portrait of Lincoln, looking right, with the inscriptions, "In God We Trust," above, "Liberty," to the left, and the date to the right. The reverse features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with its recognizable columns and architectural detail. If you look closely at the reverse, you can even see a tiny depiction of the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial, a subtle detail that many people overlook. The coin is made of the classic pre-1982 copper composition, which is 95% copper and 5% zinc. It weighs just over 3 grams and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. Because of its copper content, many 1966 pennies have developed attractive natural toning over the decades, ranging from bright red to deep red-brown to chocolate brown. Collectors place great importance on these variations in color. More than 2 billion 1966 pennies were minted. That is a huge number, and it means that in circulated condition, the coin is quite common. Many examples spent decades moving through everyday transactions, grocery store registers, pockets, jars, and vending machines. As a result, most coins from that year exist today in circulated, well-worn condition. However, because so many were used heavily, it is surprisingly difficult to find pristine, high-grade examples. In coin collecting, it is not just about how many coins were made but how many have survived in exceptional condition. Most 1966 cents are worn, discolored, or damaged. Only a very small percentage remained untouched, saved in rolls, sets, or drawers shortly after their release. Truly gem-quality examples, especially those with bright original red color, are much scarcer than the mintage numbers would suggest. One of the most interesting aspects of the 1966 penny is the special mint set, often referred to as SMS coins. Because proof sets were not produced in 1965, 1966, or 1967, the mint instead issued special mint sets, which were created with extra care. These coins were struck using specially prepared dies that produced a sharper, cleaner image than regular circulation strikes, though they were not quite proofs. SMS Lincoln cents from 1966 often show a smoother, satiny finish with stronger details. Collectors value them because they represent a unique transitional era in the mint's history. Among SMS coins, there are further distinctions. Some coins show cameo contrast, meaning the raised portions appear frosty while the fields are more reflective. An even more visually striking variety is the deep cameo, where the contrast is extremely strong. These cameo and deep cameo coins are significantly scarcer and can be worth far more than standard SMS pennies. Though the majority of 1966 pennies are straightforward copper cents, several era varieties from this year attract collector attention. Some examples include a doubled die on the obverse or reverse. This occurs when the die strikes the coin more than once in slightly different positions, creating doubling in the lettering or design elements. These errors can dramatically increase a coin's value depending on how obvious the doubling is. Misaligned die strikes. These errors can cause the design to appear shifted or off-center. Rim and lettering anomalies. Some coins show unusual spacing between letters and the rim, or even partial rim distortions, striking variations from worn or overpolished dies. These can create weak areas of the design or abnormally smooth fields. More dramatic errors, such as off-planchet strikes or coins accidentally struck on planchets intended for other denominations, are especially rare and command very high premiums, because era collecting continues to grow in popularity. These varieties are often worth significantly more than standard examples. To truly understand the value of any 1966 penny, grading is essential. Collectors classify coins from low grades, such as good or fine, all the way up to mint state. Mint state grades range from MS60 through MS70, with MS70 representing a flawless coin, a level almost never seen in copper cents from this era. Copper coins like the 1966 penny also receive a color designation. Brown, abbreviated BN, describes a coin that has darkened naturally over decades due to oxidation. Red brown, abbreviated RB, describes a coin that retains some of its original copper sheen but also shows signs of natural darkening. Red, abbreviated RD, represents a coin with most of its original bright copper color intact. These are highly prized by collectors because they indicate the coin was preserved extremely well. A 1966 penny with an MS grade and a red designation is dramatically more valuable than one that has turned brown. Now let's talk about what the 1966 penny is actually worth today in 2025. A heavily circulated 1966 penny, the kind you might find in pocket change, is worth 1 cent. Its value does not rise significantly in low grades, even after nearly 60 years. A lightly circulated example may hold a small premium to collectors assembling year sets, but generally the value remains modest. However, when you move into uncirculated territory, the story changes dramatically. A bright red uncirculated 1966 penny can sell for several dollars, sometimes more, depending on its luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. High mint state examples can enter the double-digit range. Coins above MS65, especially those graded MS66 or MS67, become increasingly scarce and can command strong prices. A 1966 penny in top gem condition can reach well into the hundreds, or even higher if the coin is exceptionally well preserved. Special mint set coins carry their own pricing scale. A standard SMS penny may sell in the range of single-digit prices, but cameo and deep cameo examples can bring significantly more. A deep cameo SMS coin in top grade can reach several $100s or more. Era coins vary widely in value depending on the nature of the error, but prominent doubled dies, major off-center strikes, or unusual planchet errors may bring substantial sums. Exceptional errors from this year have been known to exceed 4 or even 5 figures at major auctions. The rarest and most valuable category includes extremely high-grade mint state coins, deep cameo SMS coins, and dramatic era varieties. There are several reasons the 1966 penny carries such a broad value range. Condition is the number one factor. A coin that survived untouched for 60 years is dramatically different from one that circulated for decades. Color is equally important, especially for copper coins. Full red examples bring significantly higher prices. Minting method also matters. SMS coins have a distinct collector market and their own grading expectations. Era coins introduce another layer of rarity and desirability. Finally, the overall interest in Lincoln cents continues to grow, and as the United States transitions away from copper coinage, earlier copper cents are increasingly seen as nostalgic historical pieces with lasting collectible appeal. If you find a 1966 penny, take time to inspect it carefully. Look at the color, look at the surfaces, check for marks, scratches, or unusual features. Examine the date, the lettering, and the rim for any signs of errors or doubling. If the coin appears unusually sharp or reflective, it may be an SMS example. For coins that appear to be in exceptionally high grade or that show error characteristics, professional grading can greatly increase market value and buyer trust. If you believe you have a valuable piece, it may be worth submitting it to a reputable grading service. Store any well-preserved copper coin properly. Copper is very reactive and can darken or spot easily when exposed to humidity, oils, or improper storage materials. The 1966 Lincoln penny with no mint mark is a fascinating piece of American coinage. Born during a national coin shortage, produced in astonishing numbers, and minted without a mint mark as part of an emergency response, it carries significant historical importance. Although most 1966 pennies remain common, the true gems from this year, particularly high-grade mint state examples, cameo and deep cameo SMS coins, and dramatic era varieties, can be worth far more than their face value. As we move through 2025, collector interest in vintage copper cents remains strong, and the best pieces continue to command impressive premiums. So the next time you spot a 1966 penny in your pocket or in a coin jar, don't overlook it. With the right combination of grade, color, and rarity, that small copper coin may be worth far more than a cent. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the history and value of the 1966 penny, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more detailed numismatic explorations. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.